Adrian. Hello, Emma.
Hey, Gary.
Just get the difficult question out of the way first, if I may, as far as Sam is concerned. Now, I know you can't comment at all about the scenario, about the case, and she denies it, but as far as the club are concerned, as far as you're concerned, were you aware something was going on, and what's your role, if anything, now with her?
Let me just allow recording on the Zoom. I think the first thing I want to say is that, you know, Sam has our full support. She knows that. Yes, it's a difficult time for her. Of course, I can't comment it. You already know that. What I can say is that I know she's pleaded not guilty, and that I don't want to do anything to jeopardise anything for Sam by speaking about it. And for that reason, I'm sure you can appreciate that's all I'm going to say on the matter. But she has our full support, and she knows that, and it's really important I get that across. There's something I really, really value. You know, there's difficult moments, there's tough times, and that's what my role is in this football club, is to make sure I look after our people. And I just, you know, want to be clear that Sam will be fully supported by me and everybody else at Chelsea.
Thank you for that. So, Manchester City.
Yeah.
Do you have revenge in your mind at all, given the last time you met?
This is not Star Wars. Like, this is no Death Star destroying moment. Revenge for me is, you know, something I don't really think about when it comes to football. What I know is they're a top team. They took points off of us at home. Not a lot between the two sides. Listen, if you want to compete to play in cup finals, one, you have to be in the position, which we are, and two, important the team learns what's the most important from the last game and look at the opportunities that are there for us. And that's something we spoke about today as a team. We trained on a couple of things. We had 1 day prep, so we now travel up and play tomorrow night. And listen, I love being in these games, and I know the team love being in these situations, so I look forward to it.
When you speak to the team, do you speak just about this game, because you've got a pivotal 20 days coming up, having 2 domestic cups in the latter stages, return of the Champions League, big game against Arsenal, and things may be a lot clearer about, you know, where you are in terms of winning these competitions in 3 or 4 weeks' time?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You couldn't. There's just not enough turnaround time for you to think beyond it. You know, we've got a long trip to Manchester, and then we have to go back up north at the weekend. But we have to focus on the players that we got available that can compete tomorrow, and then obviously players from the bench. You know, we have a game planned in mind. We know what we have to execute to be at a better level, particularly going forward. And like I said, I think the dressing room's in a good place. It was a good performance at the weekend, and we'll take that into tomorrow night.
Parliamentary committee, Women and Equalities Committee, have weighed in regarding ACLs. Have you seen their comments?
I have seen a little bit, but not a great deal. But what I will say is, I think is really valid. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's absolutely critical, if you're asking for a Carney review of women's football, that we actually take on board those recommendations and we put them into practice. It goes beyond ACL injuries for me. This is support around women's health, the women's game, etc. And as you know, I'm an advocate of that, and I hope that the recommendations that have been made to Parliament are something that are acted upon.
That's it for me. I hope it was only slightly worse than root canal treatment.
What was?
This bit of the press conference.
Oh no, listen, this is my favourite moment, definitely not. And have you had a root canal before? Let me tell you, that's painful.
Thanks,
Gary.
Thank you. Hi Emma. I'd like to ask about Catarina scoring on her debut last time out at Leicester, returning from her ACL injury. As much as that is rewarding for her, it must be quite rewarding for you and the backstage staff that's put all that work in. To see her come out the other side and perform, but not only that, score a goal as well.
Listen, I think you saw the reaction of everyone connected to the team, players, staff, everybody was absolutely delighted for her. She's a super character, she really is, and ever since she came into this club, I think the dressing room really took her in as one of their own. Even today, she bought a cake for everyone to celebrate everybody putting up with her. It was just a large cake with a big picture of herself on it, I might add, that we had to cut through. And it just said, thank you for putting up with me during this. It's been a long battle, and her teammates have been tremendous in helping her through that. But the staff, this is the work. People don't see what the medical team do and the performance team do. So that's why, for me, it's important to mention it. And for me as her manager, she's someone I brought to this club. I really, really wanted to bring to this club, and I knew we were taking someone who wasn't 100% fit. Maybe I didn't think it would take this long, but she's had setbacks, and I'm just delighted for her. She can finally progress her career with Chelsea. She's a super, super person.
Can I also ask about Aggie Beever-Jones as well?
Oi, oi, oi.
Well, she was called up to the senior England women's team. Have you seen a difference since she's come back? Confidence maybe, or in her performance?
Good question. No, I see the same Aggie I see every day. A sweetheart, as someone who is Chelsea crazy and a real developer, young talent who's always taking on everything we ever ask of her. And I think she takes it all in her stride, and again came on at the weekend. I think she's been so impressive from the bench for us. She's so front-footed, she's such a goal threat. As I said, I'm sure she will have a big future at Chelsea. She just needs to keep working at all the things the coaches are asking, and I don't see a change, but I just see someone who's getting hungrier every day.
Looking ahead to City then, can I ask about the squads? Any updates on injuries or team news?
Obviously Nat Bjorn is suspended. Lauren James back into the squad. Cat Macario obviously into the squad again. At this moment in time, I don't know any others, but I think it's be pretty similar to the weekend.
Okay. And in terms of competitions, you're still in all four, one game away from a League Cup final. Is it important for you that you go out with all four?
I don't think of it like that. Like, I don't sit here and say, oh, I need to have these things when I leave. I want to just keep improving and keep building the team. Ideally, we win as many trophies as we can, but most importantly, I'm not someone who's solely focused on that. I want to keep developing the club and the players within it. And for me, at the end of the season, of course, I'd love to look back and have as many trophies, but I take even more satisfaction knowing we've got even more players for Chelsea's future.
And you've got a big week of games this week, I was just pleased to mention. City tomorrow, Everton at the weekend, and then Arsenal next Friday. Not only are these big games, but it's an extremely quick turnaround. Are you going to be saving players tactically for like the games at the weekend or next week?
I don't know what that means. I don't think like that. I think one game at a time. I think when you talk tactically and, preserving yourself, that's all about keeping the ball. So that's the first thing. Two, you get energy from winning. It doesn't, your legs might be a little bit tired, but you get energy, you're motivated by winning. And if you can't be motivated to play in this team to compete for trophies, then I don't know what's going to motivate you. So we like this end of the season. We like being in the thick of games. And I promise you, I've got a dressing room of players that are hungry to keep winning for Chelsea.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone in the room? We'll go to Emma Saunders, BBC Sport Online. Emma, if you want to unmute yourself, away you go.
Yeah, thanks very much. Hi Emma, nice
Hey.
to see you. Just want to go back to Kat, because I'd imagine, you say there that she's obviously had setbacks in her return. I'd imagine it's going to be a bit of a phasing process until she's kind of available to play 90 minutes. And is that something that we maybe just need a little bit of patience to see her obviously play a full game?
Yeah, I think so, but we have been doing that in the background. She's been playing with the under-18s. She had some minutes there. She's been training with the squad since the turn of the year. So she has been building a solid base. But when you're out that length of time, you have to You have to gradually build. We've almost had to give her a pre-season from January up until this point. So far she's played 2 20-minute games, or maybe 20 minutes and 30 minutes, so she's gradually working towards that. She's available again on Thursday, and I expect that she will be someone, you know, that we can go to from the bench. Don't think she's quite ready for a start yet, and that includes the weekend, but she's getting closer. And I think if she can make an impact from the bench like she did at the weekend, then perhaps her role is best served there for now, until, you know, such point she might need to play a different role.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you've spoken in the past about City being a tough place to go to. I just wondered how much of that factors into your preparation. You know, is it important to try and reduce how much that it can play an impact, or is that something that I guess, you know, yourself and the players are just so used to now that it kind of doesn't really need to factor into the preparation?
What motivations you want? Win the game, we go to a cup final. I don't care where the game's being played. That would be my message to the team. We're playing a top side, but we too are a top team. We too have a top qualities, and it's important for us to demonstrate those in the way that we know best. My focus is on us, not on Man City.